whenever the BJP is emerging, whenever they don't have an alliance with BJP, immediately they say that religious harmony and secularism. These are all the things in the past. But when our alliance party says in the manifesto, we are with an open mind, we will approach that.
Minute is in Coimbatore South, which has turned into a star-studded constituency for this assembly elections. We are catching her in the middle of a very packed day, and she's graciously accepted to spend a few minutes with us. Now we are with Vanati Srinivasan of the BJP, who's contesting from Coimbatore South constituency. Thank you so much for joining us, ma'am.
Thank you, Megha.
So how do you feel about contesting from Coimbatore South against Kamal Haasan? Do you think the contest is going to be very tough due to star power?
See, election is an election. So we have to face whatever the party contesting or whoever the candidates are. So I don't think any extra mileage that Mr. Kamal Haasan is having apart from getting a media coverage. I don't think. It is my third election. So whatever the election work normally I do, that I am doing.
And you had contested from the same constituency in 2016. So when compared with that period, how do you think the prospect of BJP is now after 5 years?
See, when I contested in 2016, I got 22% vote. The ADMK has won this constituency. And apart from that, it is all along the constituency belong to ADMK. And our combined strength of vote share, or our combined strength of central government schemes or benefits or state government, everything is being, I think that is being benefited to this constituency people, and in return, the people will endorse that whatever the government, whether it's a small city or the roads or the flyovers, everything, the basic infrastructure facilities, that this constituency has more share compared with the neighboring constituencies. I think this would help for my electoral victory.
Kamal Haasan in one of his interviews had said that the reason why, one of the major reasons that he chose to stand from this constituency is that he feels the region is communally divided. And I think he was pointing at the BJP when he was saying this. So how do you see that comment of his?
See, it is a normal comment about BJP, the other political parties are making so far. Whenever the BJP is emerging, whenever they don't have an alliance with BJP, immediately they say that religious harmony and secularism. These are all the things in the past. Now the minority people are also understanding how Prime Minister Modi is leading this country in various different fields. So, till that Kamal Haasan comes here, what he has done for this constituency or this area of people? Yes, of course, in the last parliament election, his party candidate has got a good number of votes. Of course, I am not denying it. But what more than that for this constituency he has done? So, that I am explaining to the people.
And you said that the minorities know that what Prime Minister Modi ji has done for them. So could you please explain on that? Because the CAA and all has actually backfired in Tamil Nadu at least. So how do you, explain the two contentions of?
See, as far as schemes or benefits are concerned, we are not differentiating whether they are Hindus or Muslims or Christians. Under Awas Yojana, the houses were constructed for Muslims and Christians also. Coimbatore, particularly my constituency, is a major beneficiary. It has got a major share of getting Prime Minister's Awas Yojana houses. We are not differentiating anybody. But in CE, it is not only in Coimbatore. All over India, there were protests. But we are also explaining our stand. Why we have brought CA here. I think slowly they will understand this.
Speaking about CAA, your ally AIADMK has told in their manifesto that they will put pressure on the central government to roll back CAA if it comes to power. Right. So how do you see this statement of your ally? More so because PM Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah have considered the CAA as very important.
It is true that the central government is very particular of bringing CA here. But when our alliance party says in the manifesto, we are with an open mind, we will approach that. If at all any real points is being involved in that, definitely central government is not only in CA. any issues comes, we are believing in dialogue, we are believing in democracy. So definitely we will address that.
One of the things that ADMK and BJP combined has to fight in this election is the issue of price rise, fuel prices, LPG, etc. So how are you going to face that? Because it has hit people across classes, across sections of the society. So how are you going to face that accusation?
Yes, it is true that some of the areas the people are asking the petrol and diesel prices, about the gas cylinder. We are explaining to the people how it had happened. Even in 2011, the prices were more compared with the present situation. And also we are explaining since into the pandemic situation. Economic growth also has to be taken care. The people also, the health of the people, the monetary benefits that has to be given to the people in this difficult situation is also there. The government is managing, and definitely the Prime Minister is also assured that he is going to take, this issue very seriously. So definitely these prices are not permanent one. So since because of the international market price, yes, of course, here the little bit the prices were more, and soon that will be, there is a chance of bringing down.
And you were talking about how the BJP and the centre is open towards dialogue when it comes to CAA, not just CAA, anything.
Yes.
But what do you have to say for farmers' protests? Because the farmers have been protesting for almost 4-5 months now in Delhi borders, but a lot of talks have actually failed, and they have the contention, the farmers have the contention that the government is not paying heed or not listening to them. So what comments do you have on that?
Then with whom our agriculture minister and commerce minister had a talk with?
Having talks is different and listening to their concerns is
Yes,
different.
without listening how we can talk?
That's
Okay.
the point.
See, no. But so the government is continuously engaging. So whoever it is, whoever is having any objection, who is having any suggestion, even we are open to that. The agriculture minister is said that, yes, whatever your apprehension about the formula, we are ready to rectify that. Continuously we were engaging them. Then you just see the attitude of the farmers, some of the unions. The Supreme Court has said that. Supreme Court has formed a committee for a dialogue. They did not accept it there. So what is their motive? It is not the fault of the government.
And ma'am, one of the criticism against BJP is that they impose Hindi on the people of Tamil Nadu. Okay, and this has been very evident from the money that's been allocated in the budget and all these postal exams and railway exams. There have been multiple controversies in the recent past. But Prime Minister Modi ji, in the recent past, whenever he starts a speech, he quotes from Tirukkural
Yes.
and Avayar,
Yes.
etc. etc. So how do you see this? Do you think it's an election-oriented move, and how do you justify this?
Suppose if an election-oriented move, only in the election rally he has taught us in Tamil. Even other times he mentioned Tamil. What way the Tamil votes are concerned when he addressed before our army people in the border of China? Whether they are the voters? If really Prime Minister thinks that is only for an electoral politics, no. He strongly and firmly believes that Tamil is such a great language. Even in the recent question in Mon Ki Baat, that what was this unfulfilled your wish? He has answered that I would like to learn Tamil. Such a kind of love and affection he is having towards Tamil.
But when it
here,
comes to
yes, here, see, administrative side, administrative angle. Yes, of course, we are, as a nation, we have an administrative languages of both the languages, Hindi and English. So it what way it is being seen as an imposition of Hindi? The central government so far has not forced anybody to learn Hindi, has not forced or passed any order that only the people they know Hindi only can apply to this post.
but the entrance exams are all
Exam, see, I would like to tell you that NEET exams. Before Prime Minister has come to power, all India entrance exams were in English and Hindi. But the NEET exams, say our government has given the option of writing in their own regional languages. So I don't think that Hindi, imposing Hindi or giving importance to Hindi, it is only for a political purpose they are making all those things.
And you have been with the BJP for 3 decades now. So how has it been as a woman candidate, as a woman politician? How has it been for you to climb up the ladder, and now you are a national president for the Women's League?
Yes.
So how has the journey been?
It's a long journey, Neha. I joined Vidyarthi Parishad in the, at my age of 5. So since then, continuously, I am working for the ideology organization with my fullest effort and my sincerity and commitment. The party is also recognized me, giving me an opportunity of serving this party as a national president of Mahila Morcha. Now this is my third election. In 2011, the party has given ticket in Mylapore. That time also I got 5.5% vote. Then I have been shifted to Coimbatore. Party fielded me from Coimbatore. Then again, I was the top in Western Tamil Nadu in getting the vote share. I got 22% vote. Then apart from that, as a journey, is sacrifice. Sometimes family and profession, everything. But I feel that the party is also recognizing me, and again they have given this opportunity. The true, this is a constituency where continuously ADMK is winning, and I think I am grateful to my party leadership.
And BJP leader Kalyana Raman in a recent rally, he was booked for hate speech against the Muslims. My question is, why doesn't the TN-BJP rein in such hate speech persons in the party? Why is it that he's again with the affiliation of the party? Does the party endorse these kind of views?
No, our party leaders or our party state president did not endorse this kind of a statement. In fact, myself and Annamalai.
He didn't refuse either. He didn't condemn it either.
No, whoever is making this such a kind of a commands, so definitely the law is taking its own course. Since it is the legal process, we will see that whether he has spoken that or not.
There are videos showing that he has spoken.
We will see that anyway. Now it is pending before the court. We will see that.
And Sasikala's decision to stay away from politics till the elections are over, and BJP President L. Murugan has also welcomed that decision. Is this a BJP game plan?
See, when ADMK is in our alliance, there is a talk that Sasikala may split the votes, and she may strengthen his position of bringing some of the important functionaries of ADMK to her side. See, when we have an alliance with a party that is having some problem, it is like a family. So when she openly says that the united ADMK has to form a government, the united ADMK has to fulfill the dreams of Amma, then yes, of course, all are in the alliance feel relieved. That is only the statement.
But was it a BJP's plan to sideline Sasikala?
No, we don't have anything in that matter. It is purely their internal issue. So we don't have any role to play there.
Alright, thank you so much for your time, ma'am. Wishing you all the best for the elections.
Thank you, Neha.
And that was Vanati Srinivasan from the BJP in Coimbatore South. Stay tuned to the News Minute for more such election updates from Tamil Nadu. This is Megha signing off for the News Minute.